Hello and welcome to our place in Sicily. It is August, which means Ferragosto, which means our crew is on vacation. But that doesn't mean we're not still doing things. In this episode, we're going to show you a little behind the scenes of some sketches and some floor plans we're working on. We take you to an antique store and show you some of our finds, and maybe you'll get to see a little Etna and the status of our gigantic vineyard, which, spoiler alert, is not gigantic. So let's get started right away into one of our more favored antique stores. Check out that light up on the left. I call it the egg light. It's been there for a while. And then this green one on this couch. I love that for some reason. So retro. It's a view. And here is downstairs. I just love this sort of little antique set. I don't know, maybe it only comes from 50, but it's adorable. It's too small scale for me though. And these plates close up, you're going to see these again. These are called good memory plates, and I own them now. And I fell in love with this guy. This is him dirty. I'm going to clean him up in a second, and you'll get to see. I think this is so whimsical and rustic, I couldn't resist it. All right. My guy is all clean. I love, it's sort of like rustic and folksy. I don't know the story behind it, but I absolutely love it. I feel like he might be a tightrope walker. And one other thing that we found, I have a thing for elephants. Also, an elephant is sort of the icon for Catania. This is labeled as ethnic elephant table, but I love it. I think it's super whimsical. The bottom comes off really easily, but I liked the little polka dots and such. Not what I was looking for today, but you never know what you'll get. And here's what our grapes are looking like. I think maybe somebody's been eating them, but they're not ready to eat yet, so I'm going to guess the birds. But that's all right. Who knows? They might taste horrible, so I'll be happy that the birds ate them. But I thought they were going to be all green, but they definitely are changing colors. Fun. A few of our finds from our mezzanine room with the secret little shaft to a secret room. I guess maybe the shaft isn't so secret. Things we found today. We're going to work on cleaning these guys up. A very well-loved paintbrush that we decided to keep. By we, I meant them, but without actually cleaning it. This, if you know what this is, let me know. It reminds me a little bit of a minnow bucket, but it's on the top, so that's weird. And then La Fauci Giuseppe fu Andreas Badafora. Is that who made that? Maybe. We don't really know what this is, but it resembles sort of a very fancy roof tile. I don't know. This, which I think may have had like a carbon paper on it. See how those numbers overlap? Maybe, who knows? This, which I thought was like a children's book, is not. So there seems to be some information there. And then at the end, some practicing signing their name or something. Found a lot of these bottles for reference. This is my hand, so they're not big. A bunch of parts of sinks. There's just 2 of them. This brush, which I don't actually think is a paintbrush, but might be used for stucco, and a burlap sack, and, well, a few kinds of paper, boxes, wood, some cans, some bottles, a lot of maybe plastic bottles for water, plastic, and more bottles. Interesting collection. Lots of dirt and debris to still clean out, but managed to get to the window. So now there's a breeze. Cabinet is emptied. And we've made sure all of the old tiles are gone from here, so that we want to keep. And interestingly enough, I had already pulled those all out. I thought maybe there'd be more. That's it. Wow, we didn't do all that part. That was already done. But it's fun. And before we hop into some floor plan animations, here's a little show from Etna these past few days. And we're going to start our animations here. I'm just doing this on my iPad in a software program called Procreate. It allows me to sort of get an idea, draw straight lines. What you can't see is there's a grid in the background on this that's helping me to do that. I'm just trying to lay out the different appliances and, standard construction cabinets to see what we can fit in the space, and then making sure I have enough space. Here I'm just coloring it in. It accidentally looks like burl wood, but that's not really what I'm going for. But it gives me a good idea for color. The backsplash there, that's white right now, will probably be like a marble or a marble-like surface. And the square is a paintable oven hood, which I'm really excited. I just have to figure out what I'm going to paint on it. Now, if you're one of those people who prefers an overhead plan, so I am basically just taking the elevation and using that as the basis for my measurements here. You can stop these videos at any time if you're really super curious and see that. But this is what it looks like. We have a little bit of a peninsula. You can see that hood there that we're going to paint, and it just gives us a good idea of what we're going for. And I think we have enough space too, which is also the purpose of drawing this plan. Now, this one will be a little longer, so I have a little more time to talk. And that's because this is the ever-changing floor plan of the guest house wing of the house. And what you can see is that I've taken a photo of the plans from Igor, and I am just playing around with a billion things. Now, at this point, we're pretty much staying with the walls all exactly where they are. We aren't taking down any walls. We're only putting up those little tiny walls in the first room to create sort of a coat closet. Other than that, this is what it is. And I'm just trying to figure out what things will fit there. Where do we want the bed to go? I'm working on making a walk-in closet. Then we're marking it up for electrical. And again, Igor is going to take this and would make this into actual drawings. But he knows we're crazy Americans and we like electrical outlets and not having to use an extender or a multi-plug in every single outlet. So he's letting us sort of drive that a little bit. Now, what we're trying to do, because at this point in the construction, all of those non-structural walls have been removed. So we're playing around, we're being really kind of conservative here, and playing around with where the arches are, playing around with just maybe extending the studio a little bit. Do we want to move the coat closet over? Making notes, we're sharing these. I'm working on this during the day and showing Matt in the evening, and we come down to, wow, this is the only interesting thing we can think to do, which is to move this wall over a little bit and bump up the studio. I would pause on those if you want, but it still isn't set. So now, after talking to Igor, he's suggesting, what if you rethought the whole layout? So I'm rethinking the whole layout. Now, Igor's not asking me to draw these up. For the most part, I'm just drawing them up because I'd like to. Now, we're at the stage where Igor has drawn up new plans. He's rethought the entire layout. Now, instead of the kitchen being at the back, the main bedroom is at the back. And I really like his designs at this point, but what I want to do is just tweak it a little bit. And for me, it's just easier to move these out. So all these red lines are walls that'll be built. The big thick black lines are actually the size of the walls right now. I'm just really tweaking the layout. I put in a bocce ball court outside, working on that kitchen we saw earlier. So many things that we're working on here, and now we're stable, and now you can just sort of take a look at this. We're still working on the actual furniture part of this, but I thought you would enjoy seeing how many iterations we have had of this. I think it's time for us to hop over into the main house. And this is going to be the living room. And the reason we're doing this and sort of hopping out of the guest room is because I found a couch that I think I want to recover, along with the other couch that you may have seen in an earlier video. And I need to see if it'll fit in here. So once again, I've taken Igor's drawing. Now I'm actually triangulating the couches and the spaces and the size without being able to use very technical sort of measurements there. And I'm popping this in, making it a mood board. So we're going to show you, essentially it's the couch on the left is the one I'm considering buying when I draw this. The couch on the right, which needs its feet put back on it, is the one we've already discussed. And then the ceiling and color scheme and, what we're going to do there. Whew, take a breath. It's time to now look at our monkey fresco. So we have one room that that's going to be the bedroom. It's actually going to be my younger daughter's bedroom. And this is my daughter, who actually has studied classics, and we got to go on a little trip to Greece. She was an internship / sort of school event during her master's program in the summer. And so I met her there, and we went on a little trip, and we saw this actually in a fresco in a place called Acquatieri. And these were actually on the walls, not on a ceiling. But I thought, maybe I'll embrace for Abby her love of classics, and we will recreate something that's sort of an ode to what the paintings were. So that's what I was tracing at the beginning here. And these are monkeys that I think would pick the saffron or deliver it to the goddesses in mythology. I'm trying out what different sort of borders could be. I'm trying to use a little bit of what Giuseppe Sciuti did for the architecture of how he planned out his ceilings. So I've got a couple things going. These are all referenced from things we saw in Greece. And I'm going with this wave design. I think we're going to put some crocus in the middle and use something very similar to what he would have done in his decoration. And that's all we've got for this episode. Let us know in the comments if you liked seeing these sketches and just little bits of life here. And until next time, ciao, ciao.